guys, Roman Trester here with Mission Forge, and today we're back in the forge. I know it's been almost 2 years since I've posted a blacksmithing video. That doesn't mean I haven't been doing any kind of blacksmithing or anything like that. It just really was nothing to record or anything like that. I haven't been doing it as much as I used to, but that's just because life came along. You know, I made a few brackets, some hooks, a couple little basic, real beginner cut type knife things, nothing crazy. So like I said, it really wasn't anything worth recording or writing home about. But with that, guys, hopefully be back in the forge regularly again, and I should hopefully be able to make some more blacksmithing videos, getting back to all the projects that I haven't finished, like this short sword or this dagger and all this other stuff. With that though, today guys, we're going to be doing something different, something that I have attempted in the past and failed miserably, and we're going to try to make Canister Damascus by hand. Now I already have the tubing cut that we're going to do by hand, right? It's just a small one, we're not doing this big tubing thing. I've already got it coated with white. I didn't use white out, I used white glossy paint. I guess white glossy paint will do the trick just as well. I'm going to use 1085 powdered steel. Might be 1085, I think it is. And a bunch of fish hooks. And they're all various different sizes and stuff like that. And I'll probably just mix a whole bunch in. So we should probably get a pretty cool looking pattern, hopefully. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, so I got the bottom welded on. I put water to make sure it wasn't going to leak, and it doesn't. But I'm a dummy, and I didn't think like, oh yeah, the weld will, you know, mess up the white coating I got in there. So I had to touch it up and stuff. So while that was drying, I went ahead, got my fish hooks, which hopefully I got enough. I might need to put more in there, and clean those up using acetone. Right. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to put a small bit of steel powder into this, just in case. Even though I tried touching the bottom, I used like a long bolt to see if it's tacky, just to play it safe, you know. If it's tacky, it's no big deal. I'm going to cut the ends off anyways, so that kind of will protect that. Alright, let's go ahead and put the fish hooks in here. I got all different sizes of fish hooks, some really small ones, some decently big ones. Let me go ahead and put some powder in here to start filling all those voids. You want as little voids, well, you don't want any voids, but you want to fill it up as much as you can. If I was smart, I would use a funnel. Oh. Alright, now I gotta weld on the cap. Normally, I try to make like a plug, but I'm not this time. I'm just gonna do a cap. So, let's see what happens. Got this all welded up and stuff. I hope I did a good enough job welding it. So, alright, well, let's go ahead and fire up the anvil, forge, get some of the cobwebs out and knock the dust off the anvil, and let's see if we can do this by hand. Now the trick to do this by hand, supposedly, is if you're not using a press, is you want to do small taps. Like you just want to go down one side, 90 one side, and you want to keep them. You got to keep it like screaming hot. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it over and over and over and over and over and over and yada yada yada. So we'll see if that works. You want this thing hotter than the sun. I mean, like, hot. So, it's finally been in there for quite a bit. It's been soaking for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out and get on to forging it. Oh no! Wondering why I said, oh no, it's because I saw fire coming out of the billet there. That means something may have opened up and burned out a lot of stuff, but even though I wasn't seeing sparks. Yeah, see how it's opened up right there? Son of a gun. Oh no. That popped onto a ratch. Oh, I really hope this tub don't. Well, I guess there's one end I don't have to cut off. So the canister is pretty much coming off, and that's kind of concerning. I wonder if I let it soak too long. So what I'm gonna do now is get some flux and flux this to make sure I don't get any inclusions or anything like that. So the canister came off completely, and there might be a single crack in this back middle of this thing on billet. We'll find out. It looks like there's a crack right in the middle. We'll try to forge weld it shut. If that doesn't work, I think I have an idea. As long as the rest of the billet's solid, I'll cut it down the middle, stack it on top, forge weld that together, and then we might have something else. You know? We'll see what happens, huh? So it doesn't look like that worked. So not a complete failure other than that one crack. I don't know, maybe I'm just not using the right thickness of canister. You know, this is like my 4th or 5th attempt at doing a canister. And at least this time it looks like just a crack right down the middle. And if I can just cut that off, square it up a little bit, weld it, stack it, weld it, and I might actually be able to get a usable billet. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just start consolidating it, maybe make sure everything's all filled in the middle, or not all loose and stuff like that. See, there's that big old crack right in the middle there. You can see it right there. Okay, so this is as far as I'm going to go with this billet right now. I can pretty much break this piece off if I really wanted to. You know, oh, maybe I can't. Either way, that crack, never mind. So, yeah, right there in the middle, it didn't consolidate very well. The rest of it might be okay. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to let these kind of cool. I'll cut the two ends down, or grind them down. Maybe I'll put a piece of, like, mono steel carbon, like high carbon steel right in the middle. Weld it, forge weld it together, and we'll go from there. So I gotta let this cool down, and maybe I'll grind up the edges a little bit, and we'll see. Maybe we'll see what the pattern looks like. Okay, so here are the two pieces that have survived. So I think I figured out what happened. So when I initially filled the canister, I filled it halfway. Well, then I added more, hooks, and then filled it more and tapped whatever. Either I didn't tap enough, or I packed too much hooks at one time, and the powder couldn't get in. So really, it was a void. But these two pieces that were in the half, whatever, are solid. And I went ahead and did a quick etch on them, and you can kind of see the design on here, the fish hook designs. And it's pretty neat. I mean, it probably could come out a little cleaner, but you could definitely see like the fish hook design on there, and it's pretty wild. I mean, well, this side doesn't have anything, but that is again. So what I'm going to do next, and I'll probably pick it up tomorrow, is I'll go ahead and since I already cleaned them off and like that, I'll go ahead and I'll probably stack them. It's not going to be a lot of steel. This is not a lot. It's not going to make a whole lot. So I'll probably stack a couple of pieces, or a thick piece of 1084, 1075 piece of steel in the middle, weld it together, and then forge weld that. So that way I got a little bit more steel to work. So at least I could turn it into something. It's because this is just not a lot. This is really not a lot to do anything with at all. But hey, good news is mostly successful billet. I would definitely recommend that. Make sure you pack it a little bit, but you can clearly do it by hand. At least small billets like this. Now, if I do a couple more small billets like this, I can definitely then stack and weld and all this stuff and get myself a good chunk of steel. Which, hey, maybe I'll do. I do have another canister over there I can fill up and try that with and see how that goes. So, guys, that's it for today. The next video, we'll see me work more on these and turning it into some type of fancy knife, hopefully. So, guys, if you found this video helpful, entertaining, whatever else possibly I used to say, go ahead and hit that like button. Also, got any comments or suggestions, leave them down below. And don't forget to click that subscribe button and click that bell for more notifications. With that, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.